What's up, you guys? It's me, your boy JD, and welcome to another episode of JD and Reviews the podcast. But if you're watching this on YouTube, this is going to be episode 4 of season 2. So yeah. So anyways, what we're gonna be doing for today, for this episode, is something very different. Different for the podcast, but something that we're very familiar with on YouTube. So basically, it's what we do on YouTube. We do performance reviews, and this time around, we're going to be doing a performance review on a podcast. And it's a little bit different than the usual performance reviews that we do on YouTube because it's going to be about the TR Bros. So the TR Bros, it is going to be a re-review of the TR Bros because the TR Bros from Peak is actually the very first sneaker that I made a performance review of. And I just wanted to make a re-review of this because for some reason, some performance of the shoe changed. It varied. It something changed over the course of the year, or over the course of more than a year that I've had the shoe. So before we begin, this episode is actually brought to you by JHK Mart. JHK Mart is your most convenient, friendly online Korean mart. So all you guys gotta do, if you're watching or listening on YouTube, you guys might wanna click the link on the description box for their online store. But if you're listening on the podcast, all you guys gotta do is look for JHK Mart on Facebook, and you guys just send them a message for any Korean needs that you guys have. Also, if you guys are interested in copying the shirt that I'm wearing, if you're watching on YouTube, this is Heart of a Champion's Summer 2021 collection shirt. So if you guys are interested, I'll be leaving a link down in the description box as well. All you guys gotta do is look him up on Instagram, Heart of a Champion PH, and just order there. So anyways, we're gonna be doing this like any other performance review that we've done over the channel. So we are gonna be talking about first the traction. So for the traction, as you guys can see on the second screen if you guys are watching on YouTube, but if you're listening, just listen to the description. So basically, the traction pattern is a star that starts from the ball of your foot, and then it goes, it spreads throughout, which kind of creates a giant herringbone pattern. But that's just the first layer. There's a second layer. For the second layer is a radial pattern that's very similar to the Jordan 1s. But if you move to the heel portion of the shoe, on the heel portion of the shoe, there's actually that milk crate pattern that's very similar to the LeBron 18. But the spaces in between for the TR Bros is actually smaller than the LeBron 18. So what can I say about the traction? So for the traction, nothing has changed pretty much. It's money. It performs very well even on a dusted outdoor court, even on a wooden court, because I was able to perform in these guys, make a review on these guys pre-pandemic, so I still remember the feeling of using it on a wooden court. And yeah, it performed very, very well. Now for the durability of the rubber, again, it is a Chinese brand, so for over the course of more than a year that I've had the shoe, in Filipino terms, di pa siya pudpud, guys. But for English, it means that the outsole hasn't faded away. There's no breaking or anything. So the traction is still good in terms of durability. So now that we're done talking about that, let's move up, and we're gonna be talking about the cushion setup. And the cushion setup is low-key one of my favorite parts about the sneaker. And for that, it's very similar to the Mamba Rage from Nike. The only difference is that the Nike Mamba Rage, obviously, it comes in an insole, a lunar lawn drop in midsole. But for this one, this cushion setup is just the whole thing. Like, it's the midsole. The midsole is the cushion setup. It is the standard EVA. There's no name that they put on there for Peak, but it does feel and perform very similar to the Mamba Rage. So just a more descriptive outlook on the outsole is that it's very responsive. It's very absorbent, if I could say. Responsive, absorbent, and at the same time, it has that court feel that I really like. It's not too low to the ground, but it's not too high off the ground. So it's just a really well-balanced cushion setup, and I wish, this is the kind of cushion setup that a lot of companies will pattern themselves after, especially for those that still use rubber compounds, because of obviously Nike, they pride themselves in Zoom and Air Max and whatever. But for Peak, Peak, Adidas, or whatever other brands that you guys can think of, I wish that they do pattern themselves in terms of cushion setup on this particular pair. So now that we're done talking about that, let's talk about the materials. And the materials is one of the most disappointing parts about the sneaker. And I remember, quick history, if you guys watch the performance review, if you guys want to watch the performance review, it's going to be up there. You guys can click it, it's up there. If you guys are watching on YouTube, the materials, they break in so easily to the point that they break. So for my left pair, there are no signs of wear and tear on the materials. So the materials are basically just mesh on top of mesh, and you have that flyer wire-ish material that that acts like the lockdown portion for the shoe, and you've got synthetic leather that acts as an external heel counter. So for my left pair, there are no signs of wearing, but on my right pair, on the first week that I got it, it has a hole. It created a hole. Nagkaroon siya ng butas. I do not understand why. So after playing with these guys for over a year, the ripping is getting bigger and bigger by the day, by the play. But every time I use it, it just gets bigger and bigger. And it's kind of sad because the sneaker is actually a good performing sneaker. It's just that I wish they somehow, they reinforce the materials more, maybe with a little bit of fuse, maybe with a little bit more gluing or something like that. I wish that they did. There's also no fuse on the toe area, so your shoe is not protected from toe drag. So if you guys do a lot of toe drags, then this shoe is going to be destroyed probably after a few months of playing. So in terms of that's the downside, because of how durable the outsole was, that's how not durable the materials were, and that's very, very disappointing at some point. So for the materials as well, you've got sufficient padding on the tongue as well, and the elastic-ish material that they used for the laces is something that I really liked. It wasn't unlacing, which is something that I really, really like. So yeah. So now let's talk about the fit support in the lockdown. This is basically where I started having a little bit of problems with. So in terms of fit, just go true to size no matter what your foot type is, whether you're a mid-arc type or a narrow footer or a wide footer. Just go true to size because the materials do break in. They do break in too much to the point that it breaks, but yeah. So anyways, the materials are like what I mentioned. It does break in very nicely, so it conforms to your foot very well. So in terms of fit, I would just go true to size no matter what your foot type would be. So Peak does use Euro sizing, so you just need to convert your US size to Euro size. That would be my suggestion for the fit. So for the fit as well, I got a size 8 because Chinese brands tend to go very, very long. My foot is on the edge of the shoe, so which is something that sometimes I prefer, sometimes I don't. I think it depends on the sneaker. But in general, it's something that I really do not prefer. I do like a little bit of toe space, just maybe about 1 to 3 centimeters, maybe. I don't know, but yeah. So in terms of that, the fit is actually very good. Now, the problem with the fit is that the materials break in so much that the materials do not support you. So going now to the support, the fit is okay, 1-to-1, okay, great, true to size, whatever. But in terms of the support, that's the problem. The materials are so soft that it doesn't contain my foot very well. There is a lateral outrigger on both shoe, but for some reason, I keep getting ankle rolls. Like my ankle gets, it inverts in a way that, it's annoying. So it inverts a lot, particularly on the left pair. So a quick history, by the way. Last December 2019, I did sprain my ankle really bad to the point I wasn't able to play basketball for about a month and a half. So it was just that bad. Like it was swelling, purpling, everything, blood pooling within the area. So it was really bad to the point that I got an X-ray. Unfortunately, there was no fracture. It was just a really, really bad sprain. But ever since then, it's left me with a really unstable left ankle. But at first, I thought it was just my ankle as the reason why I keep on getting ankle sprains from this particular sneaker. But then I realized I wasn't getting that from, I wasn't getting that from the Gordon Hayward ones. I wasn't getting that from the BB Adapts. I wasn't getting that from the Embiids or so on and so forth from all the different shoes that I've been wearing. Even the Converse Pro BB Low. I was wearing probably one of the most low profile basketball sneakers out there, and yet I wasn't rolling my ankle compared to the TR Bros. So I decided to make a re-review so that you guys can stay updated at least on how the shoe performs after quite some time. So yeah, so again, the support isn't that great. My foot kept rolling all over the place. So I think the last time I played in these was last February. I was doing some drills. I was doing some workout with a friend of mine, and we were doing some catch and shoot drills, and I sprained my ankle. Like, it was a minor sprain, but I got so pissed because it hurt me all throughout the training, and it took me out of my workout and my workout routine for about a week. So I couldn't do leg workouts. I couldn't do basically other kinds of workouts that involved, putting weight on my left ankle. So it was quite annoying in that. So in terms of lockdown, there you have it. The support is so bad to the point that the lockdown is also affected because the materials are so soft. The lockdown in itself is affected. So my foot kept slipping up on and off the shoe. Sorry, not up and down. On and off the shoe. It kept slipping on and off the shoe. And even if there was a little bit of padding on the heel area, it wasn't enough. Because the materials were so soft, the internal heel counter is so flimsy, it wasn't doing anything. So it was just going on and off, the sneaker. So yeah, so basically that takes care of it for the fit support and lockdown after a year of playing in the TR Bros. So now we are gonna be talking about the aesthetics. Basically, I got a white sneaker for the TR Bros, and it's one of my favorite looking sneakers actually. It's very low profile, looks nice on the court. You can also rock it off the court if you ask me. So yeah, I got it because it actually looks nice as well. So yeah. So anyways guys, that pretty much takes care of it for this episode. Again guys, the TR Bros overall thoughts. After a while, I think you'll need to retire the sneaker eventually. Like after once the materials are broken into the point, that the materials are flimsy, you might need to retire the sneaker overall as a performance sneaker and just use it probably just for running or something. So yeah. So anyways guys, that pretty much takes care of it for this episode and for this re-review. So again, if you guys like this podcast episode, please do follow us on Spotify. If you like this episode on YouTube, please don't forget to click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you guys can stay updated for all the performance reviews, for all the episodes that are up and coming. And of course, follow us again on Spotify so that you guys can stay updated for every weekly uploads that we do have on the channel. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and follow us on TikTok. Also guys, the COVID cases are going up, so please practice social distancing, be hygienic, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.